Hi, I'm Rob, and today we're at the Milburys in Beauworth. Now the Milburys is a well positioned pub that's a little bit unusual. It's well positioned, it's on the South Downs Way and the Wayfarers Walk. So it's a good pub for walkers, and it's unusual. Well, we'll see if we can see inside. So as we go into the main bar area, you can see it's got lovely old fireplaces and low beams. There's mine host there. But this is the bit you really get. So the real surprise is in here. There's a Skittles alley, that's good, but look at this. This is a 250-year-old treadwheel. And you get people stood inside there, walking it round, and that would winch this bucket down the well. And that well is 300 feet deep. There we go. And there are still nails down there from where the builders on it hung candles to dig. So it's got a nice little dining area as well. But anyway, that's enough of the pub crawl bit. Let's get on with the walk. So coming out of the pub, we walk down to the junction. And we take a left. So that's towards Pre-Shore, Warnford and West Meon. And it's on the South Downs Way. Now this is Millbarrow Down. And Millbarrow Down is a Bronze Age burial site. There are lots of barrows. There's one there. Now the Bronze Age lasted for a couple of thousand years between 3000 BC and 1200 BC. And during that time, people of fairly high importance were buried, or not really buried, but they were laid in chambers in rocks that were built up on the surface of the ground, and then the rocks were covered up with soil, making these little hills. Some barrows can be, especially the long barrows, they can have 7 or 8 chambers with different members of the family in there. Round barrows tend to be just a single person or a couple. So it's beautiful scenery here. We're high up on the Hampshire Downs, see for a fair old way, and there are lots of barrows in Hampshire and in this area. And in June 1833, 4 boys found a treasure trove, basically. Lots of bits and bobs. They called it the Beauworth Hoard. It was that notable a find. The first Norman Bishop of Winchester was a Bishop Walklin of about 1098, and they believe that the hoard has something to do with him. Anyway, coming back away from the barrows, back onto the road. A lot of road walking in this walk, but it's quiet anyway. By the way, Hinton Ampner's down there if you want to combine it with a National Trust visit. It's only 3 miles away, but anyway, we carry on this way. And we pass the entrance to Pre-Shore House on our right. Looks like we might pick up a pavement of sorts. That's better. So we have the views to our left and the road to our right. Roots underfoot. But the path is nice and safely off the road now. So we've got some farm working going on over here. views wherever you look. So we emerge back onto the road again. The South Downs way carries straight on, but we're taking the left-hand turn onto the public footpath, and we're heading off across the stile and downhill. So I'm a pub walker, but we've come across a serious walker. So
not really, first time serious walker.
Oh, first time serious walker.
My hiking cherry, I guess.
Ah.
Actually no, that's not true. I guess did DV when I was 16, but it's been...
But not nursing any blisters yet?
This is day 4, there's a couple, but duct tape and that is sorting them out.
Ah, right. And where are you off to?
Winchester.
From
Brighton.
That's some walk.
Yeah, it's the 4th day. I think it's about 110 kilometres total. So.
Crikey. Well, thank you very much.
Right.
And I think you've earned your brew of dehydrated...
pork curry madras. Curry, I don't know, that's French. It's a French company. I think that's a very good translation.
Well, I'm sure it's very nice. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
I could do with a pork curry after that. It might be dehydrated stuff, but it smelled nice. So you can see some more barrows over there on the right, and marked on the map as Millbury, which is all the survey speak for old stuff. So once you emerge from the hedge, it's a big old ploughed field, and you walk straight through the middle of it, down this barely visible track over here. And the sun's out now. I'm beginning to think I should have put a bit of slap on the old bald head. But never mind. This is certainly the walkabout open spaces. It's lovely. So this being the South Downs, it's all chalk underlying, and where there's chalk there's flint, and flint is a very, very sharp stone. If you chip it right, you can get very sharp edges, and there are 1 or 2 sharp edges on this, although it hasn't been worked. But this is what your Bronze Age people would have used. They'd have sharpened up an edge, got a good handhold on it, and that would be a Bronze Age axe for chopping down trees and so on and such like. I mean, this isn't because it hasn't been sort of chipped and worked, but this is potentially what they could work on to use, because as I say, flint is very, very sharp. It's as sharp as razor blades, so be careful when you pick any up. Well, that's more like it. Look at that razor thin edge. Don't want to cut your fingers on that. So there we are, we've reached the other yellow marker post, and there's a similar field across there that we walk straight across on the Wayfarers Walk. For the purposes of following the map, that's Down Farm down there. So we're homing in on the next finger post. And the path disappears. Coming into Kilmiston now. What's that? Old shepherd's hut maybe? Fallen into disrepair? Tin shed? Fence? Don't know. No, looks like an old shed or something. We're far out of repair now though. Anyway, we carry on down this path. And you follow the path round to the left. So through the Kissing Gate, and we arrive in the village of Kilmiston, and we turn left onto the road. Got Kilmeston Village Hall, and it looks like they've got a children's playgroup or something. Some lovely cottages. So there's some lovely thatch in the village. That one's a bit of a fixer-upper. That one's been fixed up. And this is the old post house. Quite large for a little village. Anyway, the signpost be your guide. So we're turning left towards Bishop's Waltham and Winchester. What a lovely tree house. It's a delight for any kid, that is, isn't it? Hope they realise how lucky they are. Oh, and green corrugated tin again on top of the shed. Very popular green corrugated tin around here. Anyway, we're looking for our footpath to the right, and I can just see it hidden in the bushes there by the national speed limit sign. Hope it's better than it looks. Oh yeah, that's alright. So there we go, we'll follow down here. This would be a nice welcome bit of shade on a hot day. More nice ripe blackberries. So we're just entering a little woodland now, and this little woodland is called Westwood, and we're crossing straight through the middle of it. There's nothing on the map, but you can see the ground is kind of raised there. There's a depression there, so perhaps it's the spoil from the depression. So whether they were in olden times digging a bit of chalk out or something, I don't know. More interesting stuff that gets me thinking. Bit of tarmac there, and a bit of concrete. I wonder if there's some sort of Second World War stuff in the woods here. Well, very bizarrely, there's a sign in the bushes telling you to keep to the footpath, presumably. How strange. Anyway, onward. I suppose that's a mystery I'll never get to the bottom of. That sign is really back and beyond in the bushes. You wouldn't see it if it wasn't for the yellow bit, and you have to go crashing through the undergrowth just to see it. So it's bizarre that it's there, really. I mean, it's a private wood, so that's the only right of way through it. So that's every reason to be there, but really odd that the sign's not on the path. And why in that one spot of the wood? If you know the mystery of Westwood, you know what to do. And there's another pit in the ground, with a den in it this time that somebody's built. Strange, I wish I knew more about these little depressions and things. Anyway, we come out of the wood, and there's a stile which we cross to cross over this field. So now we're heading towards Manor Farm in Beauworth. So there's an old water tower over in the corner of the field, but we're heading for the stile in the gap in the hedge. Bit of a rickety old stile, a bit like the water tower, bit of a rickety old roof. Anyway, Manor Farm down there. We're heading across the field to the next stile. So we've crossed over the stile and we're going to turn left down towards, you can see a little church. So we pass out of the field into the village of Beauworth. Again, a thatch lover's delight. Pretty is that? Church up there. And the village green. So we head up towards the church on this road here. There we got some lovely apples, all ripening. I think they're cookers actually. And we've got a thatcher working here somewhere. So it's busy thatching the roof there, and I've actually managed to catch up with the thatcher himself. Good morning, sir.
So, ugly mug and all.
So what are we doing there then with the thatch?
The ridge.
Just the ridge?
Just the ridge, yeah.
Ah, so it's not a completely rake off and start again job then?
Just the ridge on this one, yeah.
Yeah, and you keep busy as a thatcher?
Yeah, we seem to, yeah.
Good stuff. So your own business, is it? Or?
Yeah, our own business. We're based in Stockbridge. KS Thatchers, King Sunborn Thatchers.
Oh right, King Sunborn
Yeah.
Thatchers.
Yeah, King Sunborn Thatchers.
Oh, got a phone number? Bit of free advertising?
Oh, phone number? I can't remember that, can I? Just look up King Sunborn Thatchers. KS Thatchers.
Right, jolly good. And
Yeah.
how old's this cottage that you're thatching on, do you know?
I wouldn't know how old it is, but yeah, it's pretty old.
Yeah, and how long will that roof last?
That'll be another 10, 15 years now. Now it's got a ridge on.
Ah, crikey.
Yeah.
One thing that worries me about thatch is like bonfire night, or if you get a chimney fire or something, is the straw coated in anything to make it fireproof at all? Or?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's just keeping your wits about you, that's all.
Right.
Anything can go up, can it?
Keep out there, have a
That
bucket of
church could
water
go
on
up.
firework night.
Yeah, yeah, that church could go up, or anything can go up, innit? It's
Yeah.
all about keeping your wits about you.
Well, that's brilliant. Thanks
Yeah.
ever so much for
All
that,
right,
mate. Cheers.
all
So my dad's Uncle Jess was a thatcher in the New Forest years and years ago. He used to go everywhere on a motorbike. I don't know how he did that, a load of thatch. Anyway, here we've got St James Church at Beauworth, up at Itchin Benefice. I've no details about this at all, but I see the doors open, so let's have a look inside. That's a lovely little chapel. Of course it's all marked out for this COVID stuff again. The obligatory bottle of hand gel. But it's lovely. There's a gallery up there. There's the bell rope there. Just one bell by the looks of it. A lovely village church. And then we have Frederick Reginald Hugh King, gunner, RFA, sometime clerk of this church, died 1917, aged 21. Another reminder about the terrible casualties in the First World War across all of the villages, towns and cities in England. 1917, February. Gallipoli maybe? RFA, or Fleet Auxiliary, I think. So that would indicate a seaborne assault. Yeah, possibly Gallipoli. So we leave Beauworth behind. Oh, more lovely blackberries, look at that. Oh, crikey, flies are loving them too. Anyway, carry on up the lane. Past Park Cottage. So nature's very clever, isn't it? You've got stinging nettles there, and you've got dock leaves there. For anyone that doesn't know, everybody in my generation will know, if you get stung by a stinging nettle, pick one of the aforementioned dock leaves, have a good spit on it, and then rub it in vigorously to the sting, and it'll ease the pain. I don't know if kids still do that. Maybe. So this little lane we're walking down is called Westfield Drove, a track that sheep or cows were herded down to move them from one place to another. So the fact this is called Westfield Drove indicates that back in history that was what it was used for, droving sheep along, or cattle. Probably sheep, I should think, on the South Downs. These are Hamilton Farm cottages, and they're little tied cottages for the workers of Hamilton Farm. So it looks like Hamilton Farm is a farm that grows cereal crops. There's the farmhouse over there, which looks, I don't know, early 19th century. So the lone barn at the top of the road, and we bear left on the South Downs way again. Just looking back where we've been, and the lovely view. And we're going to head off up here towards Windmill Farm. Very popular with cyclists today. More cyclists than you can shake a stick at here. Well, some cyclists and some that have got electric motors. And I know cyclists don't believe that they're cyclists at all if they've got electric motors. This house is High Stoke, if you're looking on the map. And over there on the left in the field is a reservoir. Yeah, I know you think of big lakes and things, but most reservoirs are buried tanks under the soil, as is that one, on very high ground. Again, as is that one. Carry on along the lane. So here we've got a little hutch, look. Fresh, free range hen and quail eggs. Hens £1.50 for half a dozen, quails £2.50 for a dozen. Let's have a look. Oh crikey, look at the tiny quail's eggs there. And there's an honesty pot. So if you need some eggs, quails or hens or otherwise, come along and pop some money in the pot. Please be honest and pay for them, as they're trusting enough to put them out there like that. Anyway, there's quite new houses in there. There's a farm here, Windmill Farm. But it became dilapidated, so I'm guessing that the farm was done up for new houses. There you go, Windmill Farm. Houses now, I think. Lovely little orchard full of apples. So another interesting thing you can find on the walks, lovely old Norton, and chap's got a bit of a fuel leak he's trying to fix, but tell me a little bit about your bike.
It's a 1952 model,
Mm-hmm.
which is exactly the same age as me.
Oh right.
So we've been chugging along together. I've had it since about 1972, I think, something like that. And at one stage of my life it was my only form of transport. And it's been used quite a bit of its time with a sidecar on the side. Actually.
Oh right. So what type of Norton is it? A Commando or?
The model is an ES2.
An ES2.
So 500 single. Yeah.
Ah right. So 500 horse cc. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, that's super.
It was as a sidecar bike. It was used at a school as a groundsman's machine.
Oh really?
Used to carry goalposts and things around.
Oh my goodness, so well loved.
So it's been a good work.
Oh lovely, well thank you very much for that, smash it. So we're nearing the end of the walk now. Coming up to the T-junction, which we take, which we take right-handed. And then in very short order, we'll be back at the Milburys on the left. Pub's having the gas delivery, or the CO2 to lift the beer out of the cellar. Looks like he's finished. So here we are, we're back at the Milburys. It's been a nice 4.5 to 5 mile walk, and we've met some really interesting people. We've met long distance walkers, we've met the vintage motorcycle chappie, and we've met the Thatcher. Yeah, really interesting walk, enjoyable one, lovely peaceful countryside, although you do hear the bub 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 of the vintage motorcycles, because they do like to come to this pub and just ride out generally along these lanes. But it's been a lovely walk. I've enjoyed it. Mr. Octopus has enjoyed it. And if you've enjoyed it, then please like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.